This is going to be a SEO audit for first response pressure wash. So some things I noticed when looking over the site is that you have a lot of very similar, almost like duplicate title tags. And the issue with that is that there's not really going to be something that kind of separates them from each other. They're all very cookie cutter and template. They're almost like templatized. And so some recommendations I have is that you get a little bit more into these. Uh, and also, if you look at your descriptions, they're all a little bit light. You can get some more keywords and more like entities or more um, times that you're talking about the service area for this specific page. Like since this talks about Tampa, you can get this information more often in your title tags and your descriptions. Just because a lot of people say that you can only have 60 or 160, that's not necessarily true. There are definitely test cases and there are definitely other sites that take advantage of having more information in their title tag and description. And something else to consider is that it is like a ranking factor. If you have your top level keyword in your title tag, description, your H1, and maybe even like a sub variation of like a verb tense in your H2, that's going to stack and go together. And what you're trying to think of is like as you keep adding these factors and as you keep stacking the like keyword you're going after on the page, it's just going to help more and more send signals to Google like, hey, like this page is about this service. Um, some other things is that the way HTML is, it's coded hierarchical, and that you want to go like H1 through H6. And so you want to follow that same principle in the HTML language for this page. And as we can see that your first header tag is an H3. Some other thing is that this should be an H tag. It's probably a paragraph tag, and it being in your hero and not a H tag is not great. Um, the other thing about this page is that it's pretty light on your word count. Word count is just basically counting all the words visible on the page. Ideally, you'd probably want to be in around the 11 to 1200 range. It also depends on what your competitors are doing. Um, and then on this page as well, you're pretty light on content. It's not necessarily for people to read, but it's definitely something to like have on the page. It's just more content singing Google more information about your website. Some other things is that a lot of your pages are missing H1 headings, kind of similar to this first page I was talking about. So let's see. Let's go over here. Not only private policy. So let's go to your service area while that loads. Then also go to your home page. While those load, I'll talk a little bit more. Some other things that could be better is that you have no JSON LD. Uh, Very easily to get like a very quick template going. If you're using WordPress, you're not, we're using WordPress. Whatever you're using, you can easily ask like AI to make you a quick template schema of including your phone number, your address, and then like linking to other social profiles with like the same as graph ID. And what that does is that schema is specifically like a JSON language for Google to quickly understand what your page is about and to get those more instances of talking about your top level keyword that you're going after. One of the other ranking factors is the total number amount of times your keyword is on your page. So something to consider is that if your top 10 competitors are all using it around like 250 to 450 times on the page, you want to be in that range, if not above it. So like it pulled that you have no H1 on this page. So again, you would want to do it very structured, H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also, this is maybe like a CTR thing, is I would have like a little form filled out here, or I would have like a better hero section with some content right here, like best pressure washing or pressure washing um, company in, where are you based out of, in Tampa. You actually do have it. So if you could just move this up right here and just make it like a little bit bigger and like pop out more, that'd be great. Some other things is that your images do not, let's see here. In your alt text for each of your images, you can stuff way more keywords or words into here. And it's the same thing I was talking about before, is you just want to get more instances that you're talking about your product, your service, where you serve, and kind of what's in the image, just so we can get more of those, like that frequency of terms in there. Some other things is that your content depth, so you're averaging around 314 words per page. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's very dependent on the keyword environment, or like what's in the search results when people search. Because if everyone has our average 300 words, then just having like 314 puts you above. But if if you can see right here, your actual average is 795. So you almost want to triple the amount of words you have on all of these pages. Just because they're so light in content, it's hard to it's hard for Google to understand like what are these about. And it's also a ranking factor, is the total amount of words on a page. Some other thing you would want to consider is increasing your internal linking. And what that means is that, so what happens is when Google goes and visits your page, right? Like let's say this arrow is Google visiting this page, it's going to find, and this is your navigation, right? This is your footer. It's going to find all the URLs on this page, and then it's basically going to create a Excel sheet, and it's going to document all of these, right? And if you don't have a proper linking structure, it's going to be very difficult for Google to find all your URLs and get to them. So ideally, you want to have a linking structure to where Google can get to that page in 2 clicks. And so a lot of like the linking structure you can do to, or you can implement to have this set up, is that you can have it link to hubs. So kind of like a blog hub, in that all of your blogs are on the same page, right? So if this is my home page right here, then Google visits it, and then it can click once and find my blog hub, and then my blog hub has links to all my blogs, and then it's just another click away to finding all of my content. The thing is that if you have a structure to where not everything is kind of like linked to each other, or it's very hard and or difficult to find pages. Like let's say you had a linking structure like this. It's going to take a while for Google to find this, especially since there's no links from the home page. This is the home page here to this page. And if this is a service page, it's going to be difficult. Now, it's not impossible, but the thing is that Google's gonna have to crawl this page, figure, that's crawling by the way, in case you didn't know, that's what it looks like, and then figure out all the URLs and put them in his index, and then come back later, and then as it's going through all of these, it's gonna have to do multiple passes eventually to get to this page. Some other things that you could be doing on this website is that you have 4 broken or redirecting pages. So these pages, clean up my tabs real quick just because I've got a lot going on. These pages are all 404ing. I'll give them a second to load. And so what happens is that when Google finds these URLs and goes to them and seeing this 404 error, it's not giving it very good like a trust signal to put more effort into crawl or coming back, crawling to your site, putting more effort to crawling your site again, and putting more effort to like come back and rank you higher. You know, you're not showing great trust signals or like, hey, like I'm on top of this. If that makes sense.